My family wants my kidney for a cousin I've met twice. I said no, and now I am being disowned. They called me selfish and threatened to cut me from the will. Today I discovered my brother, who called me heartless, secretly got tested and wasn't a match, but has told no one. The group text came on a Tuesday morning while I was in a meeting. Family emergency, Cal immediately. My heart raced as I stepped out, imagining the worst. My mother answered on the first ring. Ellie saw, thank God, it's about David. David, my father's brother's son, a cousin who exists mostly in Christmas cards and the occasional family reunion photo. I've met him twice, once at my grandfather's funeral when I was 12, and again at a wedding 5 years ago, where we exchanged maybe 10 words. He's an end-stage renal failure, my mother continued. He needs a kidney transplant. We need everyone to get tested. Not would you consider getting tested, or we're hoping you might help? The language was clear. This wasn't a request. I hesitated. Mom, I barely know him. He's family, she snapped back, as if that single word erased all reasonable objections. I promised to think about it, and I did deeply. I researched kidney donation, the surgery, recovery time, lifelong health implications. I thought about my own life, my new promotion, the marathon I'd been training for, my plans to start trying for a baby with my husband next year. A week later, I called my parents and told them I wouldn't be getting tested. The silence lasted so long I checked to see if the call had dropped. You are choosing to let your cousin die? My father's voice was ice. I am not letting anyone die. Here is a transplant list, and other family members can. Your brothers are getting tested. Your aunts and uncles are getting tested. Even your 70-year-old grandmother is getting tested. But you are too selfish. What followed was a 2-week campaign of emotional warfare. Daily calls from relatives I hadn't heard from in years, group texts updating everyone on David's deteriorating condition. My brother Mark sent me a particularly vicious message. Never knew I had such a heartless sister. Hope you sleep well knowing your selfishness might cost someone their life. Yesterday, my mother called to inform me that if I didn't do the right thing, I would be removed from the will and no longer considered part of the family. This morning, I ran into my brother's wife at the grocery store. She looked uncomfortable when she saw me shifting her basket to her other arm. I am sorry about all this, she said quietly, especially after Mark tested and wasn't a match. I froze. What? He got tested last week. He wasn't compatible. He hasn't told your parents yet. I stood there surrounded by produce as everything clicked into place. Mark's escalating texts, his insistence that I was the problem. He'd already known he couldn't help, but was keeping that information private while publicly shaming me. When I confronted him, he admitted it immediately. They'd be devastated if they knew I couldn't help either, he said. Better to focus on convincing you, so I am the sacrificial lamb, I asked. The family villain, so you don't have to be? You don't have kids, he replied. I have 3. The recovery would be harder for me. I laughed bitterly. And what about my plans, my future, my health? Those don't matter? It's just different, he insisted. I blocked his number after that call, then my parents, then the entire extended family group chat this morning. I received a formal letter from my parents stating I'd been removed from their will and would not be welcome at future family gatherings. I've shed tears over this, questioned myself repeatedly, but I keep coming back to one truth. A family that measures your worth by which organs you are willing to surrender isn't a family at all. Some people believe blood is thicker than water. I've learned it's also far more expensive when the bill comes due.